For unexpected deaths, now that's when I would imagine that the situation changes. Things are happening more rapidly. How were these roles assigned, I guess, during that?
So the unexpected death is usually where you find that things that should have been done or were intended to have been done don't quite happen. And then you're in a situation with, well, how do we deal with that? So in some cases, the executor could decide this was the intent and I'm going to do my best to follow the wishes. On the other hand, a person could say, you know what? That's the way it worked out. You know, the ex-spouse could be miraculously a beneficiary on someone they divorced 10 years ago and they can't stand each other. But if that check is, you know, that to them as a beneficiary, there's not really much anyone in the family can do. So that, I think, really, I would back it up. And from the unexpected death, I would say that's why good planning should treat that as a contingency plan right out of the box. Is what if something happens sooner, not later? But you're right, it does happen. And that's where you end up with these estate beneficiary IRAs where maybe a husband and wife name each other as beneficiary, not the kids, just didn't get around to it or think about that as a scenario. Now you're dealing with the estate. So you want to be aware of the nuanced difference of those rules. You also have family members that really weren't thinking about any of this. And to your words, I'll use windfall. Now all of a sudden there's a large sum of money and coming at the time that it comes. Of course, you know, the loss of a family member suddenly like that is, you know, never a good thing. But now all of a sudden there's this large sum of money and it changes each person's dynamic. So I think that that's really important, is to, you know, have that communication among the family members and kind of look at it as a team. And what I would caution is the executor, whoever's in charge, will say, I would caution them from being too controlling when it's unexpected like that. On the other hand, I would say that person needs to manage the situation, and the other family members should try to be, you know, understanding and not saying, hey, let me get what I can that's mine, because it is going to be a little bit of a messy, disruptive situation. There's going to be intent, but it might not quite go the way you want it to. And so you're going to have to figure out how to do that by form or paperwork or letter. And you want to do it in the most tax efficient manner. You do things too soon, you're typically going to get taxed in a way that you didn't want to or didn't have to be. And if you do things in such a way where you are distributing money too soon, and then you realize that I need some of that money to pay some bills of the estate, that complicates things as well. So I really think it's just doing things right the first time, that family meeting, thinking about what could go wrong. No one wants to think about it, but it doesn't take a whole lot to just get it in place. If the people you would name as your beneficiaries are important to you, it's important that you do good planning now. Get your successor owners, your contingent beneficiaries, not just the primary, in place. To help in that, check us out at gootfinancial.com and go to the Contact Us page, and we're happy to start a conversation.